The agenda is very straightforward. The purpose of this meeting is to look at our program for the second term with a view of adopting it. During the first term, we didn't do a lot other than firstly attending the strategic meeting, engaging with the Office of the Auditor General in respect of the 3 municipalities in Gauteng, Tshwane, Johannesburg, as well as Mfuleni. And then some of members of parliament did attend an important occasion in Pretoria that was addressed by the president in respect of the engagement with the traditional leaders. I must say it was a very, very good engagement, way in which the president, as well as a number of ministers, engaged the traditional leaders in respect of the work that they do with a view of further making sure that they collaborate. Now, this morning, I have not received any apologies. Just looking at the attendance here, is myself, Honorable Martha Bartlett, Honorable Maleka, Honorable Hadebe, Honorable Mutsamai, Honorable Ndongeni, Honorable Sheikh, as well as Honorable Badenhorst from the Western Cape. I'm going to request Moss to flight the program. As I indicated, I've not received any apologies. I'm going to request Moss and Fuad to flight the program. I've heartily welcomed all of you so that we look at the program for the second term. And in that sense, I'm going to request Moss, our secretary of the committee, to just quickly take us through that program. And then I will facilitate the discussion. Over to you, Moss.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, before we put the program for members to see, can we just note the apology from Honorable Nteto, please?
Recording in progress.
So Honorable Nteto apologize.
Yes, Chairperson.
Is that the only apology?
Yes, that's the only official apology received, Chairperson.
Okay, fine, no problem. Let's move. Can you
Chair,
just fly the program and take us through that program, please?
Sure, Chair. Mr. Holiday, can you share the program, please? Mr. Holiday?
Yes, let's see. It's
Chair, no voice, no volume.
Hello.
Maybe
Mr. Holiday?
Hello,
Honorable Mutamai, just a second. They are flighting the program, and then they will take you through that program. Just be patient a bit.
Moss,
I don't see Mr. Holiday on the platform.
I'm on now, Chair.
Yeah, fly the program then.
Chair, can I just provide an introduction while Mr. Fuad is trying
Okay, fine. You have
share
to
the program.
proceed. You will fly it, yes.
Honorable members, can I just, in a form of introduction, indicate that during the strat plan, members emphasized the need for the committee to prioritize. The second term program is taking into consideration the inputs made by members. Number one, with regard to legislation. Number two, with regard to our interaction with the Office of Auditor General. And number three, with regard to interventions before the committee. Now, this program, Chair, I need to indicate that it does not include programming with regard to oversight. And we're leaving that in the hands of members to make a determination. Secondly, I'm aware that the chairperson has also
Recording
made
stopped.
some initiatives with regard to the members to attend a master class on coalition government. And lastly, I'm aware that the chairperson is also, making an arrangement for members to participate in Cooperative democracy.
Copenhagen.
Yes, summit. But I'm leaving that in the hands of the chairperson. The chairperson will make an announcement on that. My responsibility given by the chairperson is just to table the second term committee program for members to consider and adopt. Mr. Holiday, are you winning? Chairperson, with your permission, can I read the program from the WhatsApp?
Recording in progress.
Okay. Mr. Holiday.
We are barely, no, there we go. Just give me a second.
Yes.
There we go.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable members, this program with regard to legislation is proposing that on the 18th of April, we must have our first meeting with the Department of Human Settlement to brief the committee on the object of legislation before the committee. The Department of Human Settlement has tabled a housing consumer protection bill. This bill has been passed by the National Assembly, is now before us, and it has been referred to us for consideration and reporting. Secondly, Chair, we are saying on Friday the 21st, this committee will be considering the annual performance plan of the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. And on Tuesday the 25th is a briefing by the Department of Water and Sanitation on annual performance plan and budget. Friday the 28th, briefing by the Department of Human Settlement on their APP. And on the 2nd of May is the adoption of our committee report on the APP of the department. Then, Chair, we are saying will also be Mr. Holiday. Then you are saying, Mr. Holiday, can you go to the 2nd of May, please? Yes. And there, Chair, we are saying, remember the bill before us, it must go through the 6-week cycle. On the 2nd of May, we are provisionally proposing that the committee should consider the negotiating mandate on the consumer housing bill, Chair. Second page. On the 5th, which is Friday, Chair, is a briefing by Auditor General on the consolidated 2020/21 audit outcomes of water boards, Chair. Then Tuesday the 9th is a briefing by Department of Human Settlement. No, here, Chair, will be dealing with the issue. Here we are saying the department, when the province submits negotiating mandate, Chair, on the bill, those negotiating mandate will be sent to the department. Then on the 9th, we expect the department to provide a response to the negotiating mandates tabled by the province's chairperson. Then on the 12th May is a briefing by water boards on action plans to deal with AG 2021/22 audit outcomes and recommendations. The 16th of May, briefing by Eastern Cape Department of Cooperative on the status of intervention in municipalities in terms of section 139, subsection 5 of the Constitution. Second page, Mr. Holiday. Then on the 19th of May, Chair, we are proposing it should be the consideration of final mandate on the Housing Consumer Protection Bill. 23rd May, briefing by Eastern Cape Department of, well, this one is a repetition, Chair. On the 26th of May, which is Friday, Chair, is a briefing by Northwest Department of Cooperative on the status of intervention in municipalities in terms of Section 139, Subsection 5 of the Constitution. I need to emphasize on this point, Chair, this is a matter that is outstanding and it was supposed to be dealt with by the committee. On the 31st of May, Chair, is a briefing by Auditor General on the consolidated municipal audit outcomes and recommendation. Second page, Mr. Holiday. On Friday, which is June, is a briefing by KZN on COCTA on the status of interventions in the municipalities in terms of Section 139, 1B of the Constitution. Then on the 6th of June, briefing by Gauteng Department of COCTA on the termination of interventions in terms of Section 139, 1B of the Constitution in Mfuleni local municipality. Friday the 9th, briefing by Mpumalanga COCTA Department on withdrawal of intervention issued in terms of Section 139, 1B of the Constitution in Dr. J.S. Moroka local municipality. 13th June, briefing by Department of COCTA on the object of African Union Charter and the values and principles of decentralization in local government and local development for ratification. And this charter is being tabled and referred to the committee for consideration and reporting. Now the committee says it will schedule a meeting for the department to brief members on the substantive matters contained with regard to this charter, Chair. Lastly, 20th June, Chair, is a briefing by Department of COCTA on the object of Independent Municipal Demarcation Authority Bill and Intergovernmental Monitoring Support and Intervention Bill in terms of Rule 1591, which is the joint rule, Chair, for consideration, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair, for giving an opportunity, Chair.
All right, thank you very much, Moss. Honorable members, that is a program, a very, very tight program that has been presented to us so that we must look at it with a view of adopting it. But I must hasten to say that this program, as we are going to say, let us adopt it, it is subject to the following three key issues. Firstly, as you are aware, on 2 or 3 occasions, we have postponed our visit to the Gauteng province. We were ready to visit the Gauteng province to specifically engage with the following municipalities: Tshwane Metropolitan Municipality, Mfuleni Local Municipality, as well as the Johannesburg Metropolitan Municipality. The political developments in some of these municipalities have caused us to postpone. Who's that now?
You know, okay.
Moss, can you mute? Can you mute? On all members, I'm saying that the visit was impeded by the political developments in some of these key municipalities. As you are aware, there's been a lot of changes, motion of no confidence, issues of the election of the mayor, the disqualification of the mayors, and all of that. And we really want to go to these municipalities because we postponed our oversight visit starting from last year, precisely because of the same reasons. And as you are aware, we want to conduct oversight, proactive oversight to these municipalities. But what comes out is that there are problems that are persisting. And this program, as soon as we would have clarified with the responsible MEC for COCTA in Gauteng, we might decide on our own to include the oversight visit to Gauteng. And in my respective view, I think we must also include Ekurhuleni when we visit Gauteng, because it also emerges that the similar problems are recurring in that municipality, and it is going to be quite ideal that we once and for all deal with this. And as we are aware, the problems, the persistent problems in these municipalities mainly is because of the coalition government, a subject that we are now seized with, so that we must understand it quite clearly, its principles, its functionings, its uh, application, so that when we engage with these municipalities, we must do that from that benefit point, that we do understand what is ensuing. I thought perhaps I must raise this as a first point. The second point that I want to bring to your attention is the fact that we are in touch with our embassy in Denmark. We are also in touch with the Danish embassy here in South Africa. We have processed in the last 2 weeks an oversight visit, international visit to Denmark. And our view is that this visit must coincide with the Copenhagen Democracy Summit that is going to be held this year around the 13th and the 15th of May. And our visit to that country must coincide with that particular summit. It's an international annual summit that engages a lot on matters of local government, and the invitation of the Speaker of the Danish Parliament and our embassy here, they have allowed us to facilitate that particular visit. The visit is at a very, very advanced stage. We are at a point now where Moss is working out the details of the program itself with the embassy. And as soon as we are done, we will then seek the approval from our authorities here. That is our chair of chair, as well as our chief whip and the chair of the NCOP. I must just hasten to point out one thing. In the application that we have submitted, that we are about to submit, in the memos that we have developed, we have indicated that we want all of us, the entire committee, to go to Denmark. Not unless one or two members, because of this or that reason, apologizes, doesn't go. But our view is that all of us as a community, we must go to Netherlands. It's quite important because, not the Netherlands, sorry, Denmark. It's quite important because the issue of coalitions in this country is becoming a reality. It is a spectre that is hovering over our heads, and we need to effectively deal with it. And Denmark has got one of the best models of coalition governments in the whole world. And it's quite important to go and understand how that is applied in practice. But also, Denmark has got a relationship and agreement with the South African government on a number of areas, including water. And it is quite important to go and deal with issues of water in that respect. And lastly, also see how they train and integrate young people, the youth, into the mainstream of local government. For us, that is quite important. And visiting a country such as Denmark will yield a good return for this committee. It is on those bases that we want to visit Denmark. And provisionally, I've engaged with the principals here in Parliament. They have, in principle, agreed that they would approve the international visit. I've said to Moss that by the end of next week, he's not going on leave. up until he finalizes everything, so that we have more time on our side, and members must prepare their passports. They must prepare everything that has got to do with the international visit, so that it must be a very, very wonderful study tour to Denmark. And again, this program, it is subject to the fact that the University of Stellenbosch is offering they call it a masterclass course in coalitions. I had wanted all members to attend, but because of the limited space, we have agreed that for the first round, there would be 6 members of this committee across the political parties. I think we have already identified proposed members who must attend. And in the next leg of the training, we must take our other members to attend, because this is very much important. I must hasten to say that in our view, we are going to deal with issues of coalitions throughout, and it's quite important that members of parliament understand the operations of coalitions, because it is in the best interest of our municipalities, so that they must perform their functions, exercise their rights, and ensure that they deliver on their mandates. If there is stability, and if there are coalition governments, we need to find mechanisms, whether it is regulatory, it is legislative, or it is policy-wise, that work to ensure that coalition governments work in this country. Because if they don't function as they should, it is the voters, it is the people on the ground who are going to suffer. Now, I thought perhaps I must raise these issues to say this program that we place on the table, it is subject to those particular areas that there and there will have, as soon as we finalize the dates, we will include these particular 3 aspects, which I think are very, very much important as well. With that, honorable members, can I invite your comments, open the floor for discussions, and with a view that at the end of the day, if we agree, we must adopt this particular program. Yes, let me see the hands. I saw the hand of Honorable Bartlett, and I saw the hand of Honorable Maleka in that order, and Honorable Mutsamai, the third one. In that order, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Just to give me a note put on my video, because we have currently load shedding now. Chair, before I propose for adoption of this report, the problem that I'm having is with Gauteng. You know, it's not fair unto the other provinces. The last time when we went to Gauteng province of municipalities, they asked us to postpone. We went there the second time and the third time whilst we were there. And when we go to the other provinces, we don't even give them time to change. So I think this time around, for the last time, if we're asked to go there, then we must rather summon them to Parliament. I'm not sure will it be the right thing to do, Chair, but it can't go on like this. It's not the first time, it's not the second time. So I think, Chair, I don't want to raise the other issues that you already raised, but if you feel that the challenges are too much, we understand the issue that you raised about the changing of the mayors, but it's not the first time. So please, Chair, it is now other thing, and I will agree with the report that was raised, and I will support it. I'm not sure was it clear enough, Chair.
Honorable Maleka.
Thank you, Chairperson, and welcome the program as presented. Chairperson, some of the issues has been attached by Honorable Bartlett. My issue was about the issue of Gauteng, because it was like a fruitless expenditure. Last year we did go there, they just postponed. They just asked us to not visit them because of their challenges that they had. I think if we can summon them to Parliament, or if we go there, because we will make all the arrangements, all the logistics. After all, at the last day, they will tell us that they are not available. There must be a way of addressing this issue of Gauteng. And the other issue, I support the program as presented, that if we are, I don't know whether Honorable Patlet did adopt it. If it's so, I second the adoption of the program. Thank you, Chairperson.
Yes, moved, but there are still hands. Let's take some hands. Honorable Motsamai.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, I would like to support the report that have been tabled. Chairperson, I have a very serious problem with Gauteng, especially in Mfuleni municipality. There's no roads, Chairperson. I don't know when we come here where we are going to travel. And the municipality keep on postponing us to come and see the municipality. When you go to the municipality, you will find that there's a grass. They are not cutting anything. And when you come to the point of service delivery, people are suffering. And now I want to know, because each and every municipality now, especially in Gauteng, they are in a coalition. I think it's so important for us as the committee to know what is actually this coalition. What is happening on this matter? Because if you look well, next year, we are going to be led by a certain political party, and people, they are going to revolt because they thought that they've won, and we know nothing about this issue of coalition. I think we must now start to visit Denmark and see what's happening there with this issue of coalition. I thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you very much, honorable members, for your inputs. I think the issue that comes up very, very strong and sharply is the issue of Gauteng, and we'll take it with the honorable MEC, and we will express the views that the members are expressing in respect of our frustrations that this thing was long overdue. And I must also hasten to say that this oversight visit to Gauteng, has really disrupted our plans for the last term. As I said from the beginning, we did little. And as you know, that this committee is one of the busiest committees in Parliament, but we had to shelve certain things in anticipation that we would go to Gauteng, a visit that never happened. And we will express our views to the Honorable MEC of Gauteng and really indicate that if they are going to frustrate us like they did, we will have to invoke a measure where we summon them to appear before Parliament by power by force. Lastly, I just want to make this point. Please, honorable members, know this, and I want to say this in advance. Our meetings are going to be physical, almost 100%. We are requested to have our physical meetings, and these meetings are going to be physical. It will be under certain strenuous circumstances that we are going to do them either virtual or we are going to do them both. But as I said, these meetings are going to be physical, and Moss and the team will work very hard to ensure that there is secure venues for these meetings, and that these meetings are going to be physical. I think it is high time that we return to Parliament, all of us, and I agree with the view that we must go to Parliament. Now, having said that, honorable members, 2 members proposed the adoption of the program. Honorable Bartlett has proposed, and Honorable Maleka has seconded, and on top, Honorable Mosama, yes, also seconded. Any deviation or any objection to the adoption of the report before we close? Okay, thank you very much, honorable members. The program is adopted. This is what we are going to do, but I'm sure that we also secure the international visit. It will be a case on my side that the whole term will pass without taking members on an international visit, when almost all the committees would have done that. With that, honorable members, thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chair.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wahambile nondongweni wahambile.